Hey, welcome into the Five Hole Fantasy Hockey Podcast. I am your solo host once again, Alan. Jay still out on vacation, kind of overcommitted himself, but that's okay. I'm here with the Week 13 script, straight off the press from the NHL with your teams and streams we're targeting, news and updates from around the league. Again, as always, before we jump into the show, you feel free to follow us on Twitter. You can slide into our DMs, hop into our Discord. You can always reach out to us personally there, chat with other like-minded fantasy hockey enthusiasts or anything enthusiasts. We have all kinds of discussions going on there. You can make sure to follow it or subscribe to us here on YouTube or wherever you get your fine podcasts from, or whatever podcast from. Yeah, we'll jump into the show here. Headlines, really, again, I don't know what Nashville's gotten into. Mike Special stuff, maybe, but and this number's changed since yesterday's game because they did drop their game against St. Louis of all teams. Before yesterday, they've dropped their last 4 and 14, but I think that would now be 5 and 15 they've dropped ever since Barry Trotz infamously said he needs more from his players. Apparently, that's all you need to do. You don't even need to cancel shows at the Globe or the Sphere in Vegas. You just got to ask for more. That's all you need, and then these guys start winning games again. I don't think they have the personnel to really go on any sort of legitimate run. I mean, even if they made the playoffs start tomorrow, they make the playoffs. I mean, who are they facing in the Central, right? Dallas, Minnesota, Colorado. I don't even know if they get swept. Maybe they steal a game, right? They're not going anywhere. I don't see Nashville as real playoff contenders. They're more of a lottery team. Maybe they steal a wild card, but yeah, they're not going anywhere. It just this is a flash in the pan. I still don't see any real. I mean, great. These are nice streamers while they're hot. Maybe Nashville has a good schedule here and there. Again, apologies to anyone I told to drop Saros. Hopefully, you're able to pick them right back up during this hot run. But yikes. Yeah, again, Alexis taught me a lot of recipes for eating crow this season. This is one of those times where I've learned a new recipe. Injuries, not quite recoveries, but some good updates on some of these players. Matthew Tkachuk has started practicing in a non-contact. This is good. This is good. I think this was his original timeline. I think he was set to be back around the Olympics. We're still about a month out before the Olympic break. This might be a good time. Maybe slip the person who has him stashed on IR an offer. Maybe his IR is overflowing and you can slip, buy him for pennies on the dollar. I don't know I'm sure whoever's been stashing him is probably well aware of his value. And even when he comes back, we know what we can expect out of him, right? He's going to be just a multi-cap monster, but he's not going to be playing at 100% right away, right? But he's obviously going to be one of these guys where, an 80, 60, 70% Matthew Tkachuk is better than a lot of guys at 100%. So yeah, I truly think this is going to be one of these guys where if you can buy him for 80 cents on the dollar, it's going to be worth it for you. And depending on what that person's IR slots look like already. Next up, Adam Fox, the New York Rangers, returned to practice today. I know once it start, I kind of advise someone, maybe sell high on Rasmus Anderson right now. And that was someone I said maybe target on him right now because Adam Fox hasn't played in quite a while after just a bad hit by Brandon Hagel earlier in the season. Because obviously when he comes back, he's a lock for power play 1 on the Rangers team. And then depending on your playoff schedule, the Rangers on paper have a fantastic playoff schedule. And just, I don't know, gazing orb. I don't see the Rangers. I know in the Metro is very compressed. I don't see the Rangers being a lock as a playoff team. I just unless they make a really big splash soon, I just don't see them having that je ne sais quoi, to really make a huge playoff push this season. I don't know. It's just not there. I don't believe it for them. But Adam Fox, I don't see him going anywhere. He's a franchise there. He is their franchise defenseman. Um, so yeah, he's going to be a lock for that position, and he's not going anywhere. He's safe. So yeah, I would. Yeah, again, probably a player worth taking a shot at trading for, while before he actually starts playing. Maybe that person also has an IR overflow. And actually probably a return for today. Brandon Hagel activated off IR. Probably a smart move, even if he was ready yesterday. Again, the game against the Panthers, it seems he has a tendency to get randomly hurt. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the weather in Sunrise. He seems to get hurt. It's really weird. Um, but yeah, moving into the schedule for this week. This is a it's a little bit back to normal, but a little bit not. So the busy days this week are Monday, Wednesday, Saturday instead of our Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So Monday we have 11 games, Wednesday 10, Saturday 13. And then Thursday, depending on how you feel about it, Thursday we have 8 games, so it's right down the middle. You have 16 teams playing, so you could consider it a busy day, an on day. I guess if you want to consider the opposite of an off day or an off night, an on night. Um, but Tuesday we have 5 games, Thursday or Friday we have 4 games, Sunday we have 5 games. Okay, that's typical. But yeah, so best schedules. Let me pop up the game grid here. It looks like TJ's done a little work here lately because this looks different from what I am used to. So yeah, another kind of once in a blue moon event. And I'm wondering, with the condensed schedule because of the Olympic break, maybe we see 1 or 2 more of these before the season ends. I haven't looked far enough ahead. This might be a nice little streaming week for you. So this may be a nice week to look ahead, see where you need to fill blocks before you just pick from the quote best teams to stream from. But on paper, the best like tier 1 plus team to stream from. We have one team with 5 games this week, and they have 3 off nights in there too. Carolina Hurricanes. And I like them. They're always we have always said that, throw a dart on the wall, you could probably pick someone. But I don't know. I think they've become more defined a little bit this season, and as the season has dragged on, they're not as kind of blendery as they used to be. Yeah, especially with sort of some of their additions and still not having like a bona fide 2C. Yeah, and then we have 14 teams, which it seems insane to me that have that many teams with 4 games this week. Yeah, and I say Carolina, 5 games, 3 off nights, and then you have off nights leaders. You have Chicago, Florida, Montreal, Pittsburgh, all with 4 games, 3 off nights. Now, yes, I like Chicago, 4 games, 3 off nights. I don't like their opponents though. And there may be some people who try to tell you that, Chicago, go get those guys. Great. I just really don't like their opponents. The New York Islanders, who have been really good, who've been pretty good lately, especially because they now have Bo Horvat back. And Ilya Sorokin, who is kind of an IR limbo lately, has some sort of nagging injury. Big Save Dave Riddick is no slouch. Can absolutely take a game. Islanders, you can't underestimate them like you could in years past to the season. Dallas Stars, not just a playoff contender, cup contender. The Washington Capitals, one of the stingiest teams as far as giving up goals, and the Vegas Golden Knights, who, yes, they're down Jack Eichel, they're down Shea Theodore. I don't think you can underestimate them. I just don't like Chicago's schedule, even though they are down Connor Bedard, they're down Frankie Nazar. You can still get Tyler Bertuzzi pretty easily. You can still get Andre Burakovsky. they're an easy team to stream from, but they're down a lot of firepower. I just I don't think I this is a team I would just if I'm looking to pick up for the week, I would just rather say next and move on. Um, I would look elsewhere. Um, Also not a fan of Pittsburgh playing the Detroit Red Wings twice. Red Wings, wow. Again, words are hard. Uh, yeah, the Red Wings are tied for seventh best goals against per game over the last 2 weeks. um, and I mentioned this on Sit Start. John Gibson has just been incredible for them lately. And then of course this got broken yesterday. I must have jinxed it for them. Um, yeah, he had just broken yesterday with the Carolina winning. Yeah, he had just sort of touched the best win streak by a goalie since Osgood in '07. I think Osgood was 10 wins, Gibson was at 8. Um, so yeah, it's just one of the best win streaks from them, franchise in decades. So just insane, insane. And just sort of how voodoo goalies can be, right? Because at the beginning of the season, I'm like, yeah, I mean, wow. Yeah, it makes sense why Edmonton didn't trade for Gibson. He's washed. Okay. All right. Um, Maybe they must have seen this coming miles away. But yeah, and yeah, Pittsburgh, I just don't, I mean, maybe they'll score goals, but it's just like, wow, that Jari trade really just sucked the life out of that team. But maybe they'll still score some goals, but they really got to try to cover up some of those deficiencies that, like I said, I haven't tried to dig in as to which defensive stats exactly, but I really think Jari was covering some or compensating for some defensive blunders that team was making. So worse schedules. So there are 5 teams that have 3 games, no off nights. Those are considered the worst schedules this week. We got Boston, Buffalo, Calgary, Edmonton, San Jose. Yeah, and that's it, man. That just seems weird. No teams with 2 or 1. But moving into the waiver wire segment, as like I said, Carolina, probably the team everyone's going to reach for. And I feel a lot better about trying to reach for these guys than the New York Rangers last week. Um, yeah, I feel like a lot better guys to kind of reach for. I feel like probably the priority ad for these guys is Jackson Blake. Um, he is not Seth Jarvis by a long shot, but at least until this morning where they did kind of throw the lines in a blender on paper, he did seem to be getting all his deployment in the game yesterday. He had what seemed to indicate line 1 time on ice. He had some of the most power play 1 time on ice. But this morning, Stankoven practiced on right wing 1, but Jackson Blake was still on power play 1. Jordan Stahl, 6% owned. He was seen on power play 1 this morning. I forgot to double check what his time on ice for power play 1 was. And again, it's Jay and I shout it from the rooftops every time, but he is killer if your league tracks face-offs. I know it's a pretty weird metric or category to have in your leagues, but I feel like it's a little fun. Makes centers or guys who have wing eligibility that takes faceoffs kind of like sneaky good. And Stahl, yeah, he's third line center, but just I don't know. He's prone to kind of have flashes of the pan too. But yeah, I would say, Jackson Blake or Stankoven, probably your kind of your priority ads there. If you need category coverage, that kind of thing, Sean Walker, Keandre Miller are kind of your peripheral guys. And the other kind of tier 1 team, I think, is Florida. Evan Rodriguez, I think pretty sure he's try eligible. Sam Miskevich, he did return yesterday. I think he scored or did something yesterday. Luosterainen, Although I think they mixed up the wingers kind of toward the end of that game, trying to get something going. But he tends to Lusterinen tends to be up on the line with Lundell. I think he does bang a little bit. If you need category coverage, especially in hits, you got AJ Greer, you got Luke Kunin. Those guys will do it for you. And Greer, I think Greer, and yes, I know this is a low bar for him, but Greer did just pass his career high in goals. But I think that career high was like 5 or 6. Don't pay attention to that part. And just go check on Anton Lundell, center only. But what did I say? Florida they're one of the 3 off nights. So yes, center only, but with 3 off nights, you should be able to slot him in there. Tier 2, Vegas Golden Knights. Jeremy Lauzon is back. He hits just like a truck. If you missed out on Yakov Trenin of the Wild, Jeremy Lauzon is one of those guys that just hits just nonstop. So in your categories leagues or your bangers points leagues where those hits are just worth it to you, boom. Ivan Barbashev is still line 1. He doesn't. I think he gets power play 2, if anything. Not. I don't know. He seems like on paper always kind of like the guy you should grab, but to me, he's one of those guys. He just doesn't do enough when you pick him up. It always seems like when he's on the wire is when he does his best work. So I always pass. I don't know. And maybe he is one of those guys who just does the intangibles, the things that don't show up on the fantasy score sheet. That's just my fan canon, my head canon. And then I would say just go check on Noah Hannafin. It does seem like with their current set of injuries between Jack Eichel, Shea Theodore, he does seem to be getting power play 1 right now. Does have quite a few assists in his last few games. Montreal, I'm putting as the other tier 2 team. I just go check on Ivan Demidov, 61%, which I know is quite high. That's probably well past that 50% threshold. But he's probably the only other guy in Montreal that's really got a solid chance at scoring and getting pretty good deployment. Zach Bolduc, 13%. He does seem to be kind of hanging out on line 1 there. Is not getting power play 1 though. Kind of sucks. Alex Carrier, I always recommend him out there. I know he's getting blocks, so if you need some sort of category coverage there, really the only guy there. I know Arbor hits. He doesn't seem to hit as much as I feel like in my head I have made him out to hit. And maybe he's toned it down. Some of those guys do. And Philip Deneau, I could have sworn up and down I thought he was going to be the line 2 center. And like we talked about on Sit Start, there's rumors out there. I don't know how viable they are. There were rumors that Montreal is looking at Elias Pettersson to Montreal. I don't know how true that is. But man, if they could get him as their 2C, that would just be unreal. What a boost, an insane boost that would be for Demidov. Just shot in the arm for them. I mean, as far as what that would do for that power play though, right? Like we need Demidov to really kick it up, and that would probably bump him off power play 1, and who knows what we could expect from him then. But yeah, for now, Philip Deneau seems to be line 3. I don't know if that is to kind of get him used to their systems and then they'll bump him up to line 2, or if that is just his deployment and Montreal really wants him to just be their kind of forechecking shutdown center. I don't know, something to keep an eye on. So with goalie streams, Jake Allen, 31%. Devils, I think I mentioned it on Saturday show. Maybe, I don't know, like in passing on the Discord, other things. But yeah, Devils, they've got most of their firepower back. It's great for them. So Jake Allen's, he's going to get goal support. And Jersey's schedule is literally 2 back-to-backs this week, so he will get at least 2 starts for you. Great in making sure you meet your minimums this week. Sorry to everyone, I didn't realize Yahoo was gonna cancel their minimums last week. Um, I was prepared last week. I picked up Anton Forsberg myself, only to notice that, there's no, 0 of 3 starts at the beginning of the week. Um, yeah, so 2 starts, that'll help you get your minimums. Hurricanes goalies, right? They have 5 games. All of them are kinda just go check. Surprisingly, Kochekov was the highest owned at 54%. I assumed Brandon Bussey would be the highest, but he is 50%. Right at just go check. That dude is insane. For me, if I owned one of them, it would be Bussy. Because in Bussy we trusty. Freddie Anderson, 33%. I mean, he's gotten 1 start in the last how many games? I mean, they said they wanted, Brendan Moore said he wanted to get all 3 of them going. It wouldn't surprise me if he gets 1 game this week just to keep everyone fresh. I just yeah. Oh, wow, this just in, D-Stu in chat here. Allmark taking a leave of absence, that's huge. Wow, so who is next up on the depth chart for the Sens? Sorry, I know for audio-only listeners, that isn't not the sexiest thing to just have a dead silence there. So Levi Merrilainen would be next up in the depth chart there. Yeah, and I mean, I know Sens a team making and looking to make a huge push there. And then Ottawa. What do we have in terms of games for them? So we just have 3 games, 1 off night. I mean, Columbus, I wouldn't mind a Merrilainen start there, but Capitals and Winnipeg, the Winnipeg game could be winnable. Winnipeg's been, I don't know, kind of shaky lately. But the Capitals, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's huge. I wonder, I mean, best to him, but that is huge for Ottawa there. Um, where was I? Goalies, Canes goalies. Yeah. If I could prioritize them, I would check for Bussy, Kochekov, Freddie. Freddie, I could see 1 game, but I feel like Bussy and Kochekov get 2 each. But I mean, this is Brindamore. He could do anything. Freddie could get 3 games, and then Bussy and Kochekov get 1 each. I don't know. Or Freddie gets all 5 starts. Who knows? Um, and then Fowler on Montreal. He's getting the start today, so this will be kind of interesting to watch. He's 28%. If you kind of want to roll the dice on him, and I mentioned this on Sit Start, I am kind of back to wait for a larger sample size on him, right? Because he had 1 game, great start. His next 2 were eggs, stinkers, roast beef sandwiches. There we go. His next 2 were roast beef sandwiches, and then we had 2 good starts. But I think his opponents in those 2 good starts were questionable. Yeah, there we go. They're in my notes. Wow, if I remembered to look at my notes. Yeah, his opponents were Pittsburgh and Boston. So Boston, okay, a decent opponent, sure. But Pittsburgh, I'm like, okay, that's not a great opponent, not a worthy challenger to really like push and say like, yeah, this Fowler kid's legit. He's gonna save Montreal's season. So they're playing Tampa today. I'll say, yeah, if he can steal the game against Tampa, this Fowler kid might be legitimate, might be a kind of a medium term hold. And plus, yeah, they have a nice, again, that addition of Deneau as a more defensive center could really get Montreal's season back on track. But yeah, now after these 2 wins, I'm sort of back on let's wait for a larger sample size on Fowler. Um, but yeah, see, it sounds like and shoot, I think I don't think it happened though. I think I remember seeing a tweet that Montembeau was supposed to get waived or it wasn't traded. I would remember seeing a trade come through. I think he was supposed to get waived or something, and I don't remember seeing that tweet come through that he did in fact get waived. And it seems silly to waive him, but yeah, it seems I don't know what Montreal's kind of next few steps is here. But I think I think it seems like they're gonna try to give Fowler a little bit of a run here. And then what's Montreal's schedule for the week? I believe they were one of the better schedules here. Yeah, 4 games, 3 off nights, but their schedule is Florida, Carolina, and then a back-to-back of St. Louis, Dallas. So, yeah, that really is if you wanna roll the dice there, because yeah, I really don't I really don't think they're a team that really has, like, the firepower and/or well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, their their decor is really good this season, right? Like, the Matheson, um, Dobson, Hudson. I mean, they might have the defense to kinda hang with some of these teams, but I just don't know if they have the firepower to hang with, like, Florida, Dallas, Carolina. So I don't know. Maybe Fowler can steal some of those games, but yeah, Fowler probably gets 2 starts at least this week, but, Fowler's someone that's available if you're looking for someone to get you some starts this week. Um, but yeah, other than that, I mean, those are kinda yeah, those are my tier 1, tier 2 teams for this week. Um, other than that, I mean, you got Colorado out there. I kinda like their opponents. I mean, yeah, LA, they're stingy on goals, but, I mean, I feel like they're just gonna shellac LA. Um, St. Louis, I still don't trust them enough yet that they're not gonna get shellacked. Um, yeah, their goal differential is insane. I forget what I saw, like, what everyone's, um, goal differential pace is for on the season, and I wanna say Colorado's is, like, friggin' over 100. Um I mean, Vancouver for yeah, I kinda like their schedule. If you can find some of those guys out there like Rossi, for, 2 off nights there. They play Seattle twice. They're pretty easy to beat up on, and they have a game against Philly in there on Tuesday. Washington, they play the Rangers. They play Chicago. Well, that game against Chicago's on a busy night. What else? What else? What else? I kind of like Minnesota. They got that. Well, I mean, Minnesota's got that California road trip, but as we've seen this season, those California teams, what's the meme? Where it's like, oh man, California teams got hands. Yeah, this California road trip's not as easy as it used to be, man. Where you just go get some sun, get an easy 4 to 6 points. Yeah, Ducks not as easy as everyone kind of thought they were going to be this season. Sharks, they can steal a game from you. Oh yeah, it's in a whole West Coast road trip. Vegas, San Jose, Anaheim, LA. Yeah, I mean, I don't see Minnesota dropping all 4 of those games, but it's not gonna be a walk in the park. Um, but yeah, I would say, yeah, trying to focus on getting Colorado, maybe the Florida teams. Um, but if those are available or if those guys are all scooped up, there's, I mean, a lot of teams that you can pick from. Was it, like I said, 14 teams, all have 4 games or more, or not more. All have 4 games this week. But yeah, I would say those off nights are going to be very important this week. But yeah, another short and simple show this week. Thanks everyone that jumped in. the YouTube live show today. I know this is kind of short notice. Wife and I got away overnight this weekend just to try to get away from the insanity that was this past week. Hope everyone enjoyed this nice little past week. I know for us, it was kind of nuts. A lot of family in town. Every day was something new, but I hope everyone had a much more relaxing week. Hopefully be back later this week with the shutdown shit. If not, we'll definitely be back Saturday for Sit Start. Good day, good mental health, everyone.